Hello, guys. Welcome back. We're going to be talking about Black Ops 6, which is coming in less than 2 weeks. I've tried to make this video multiple times and just edits and just recording and the script that I have. And my big issue with the script that I've been writing is it just felt like I was bashing too hard on the game. And I don't want to get this misconstrued. I just want my thoughts not to be as negative or come off as negative, but more on the subject of things I'd like to see changed, cleaned up, and fixed. And that was weeks ago. And some of my notions still hold. Treyarch did just release a couple days an update about the feedback they have received, and that's Liberty Falls, the UI, and that's exciting, but there's still some concerns that especially come to BO6 multiplayer and zombies, so let's dive in. Now, why the thought of bashing kept coming into my head, I don't want to bash the game. So I stopped the script I previously wrote and I made a pros and cons of just the Black Ops 6 beta that we experienced over a month ago at this point. And I still had questions on it. Did we, as the community, ruin Call of Duty? Did we ruin Black Ops 4 and that's what led to Cold War and Black Ops 6? Or did we just ruin the whole series as a whole because of the gaming industry as a whole? Now, with that in mind, my biggest concern, and this is things that I just personally don't like, the operators, the weapon skins. I think Call of Duty is trying too hard to be Fortnite, and because so many people were playing Fortnite back when Black Ops 4 released, Activision, Treyarch, all the devs of Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, they all saw this and they tried to implement this into the game, and I just don't think it works for Call of Duty. But you can say, oh, we had skins in Advanced Warfare, we had skins in Infinite Warfare, we had skins in BO3, but those were supply drops, and I know people weren't fond of those, but I didn't mind playing the game, earning a reward, opening it, and using a cosmetic, whereas this is paying physical cash for a cosmetic to act and be like another game that it's not. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind weapon skins. I like the DLC aspect of COD. I've always liked that. You play for a certain amount of time, you buy the new DLC if you want it. It comes with weapon skins, and I think that's kind of cool. The new version is still a pay to use, and not in the sense like a DLC was, because with the DLC you had the maps, you had new weapons that you got, and you had the camos. Whereas this one, you're just paying $20 for one skin that you might not ever use, and that's kind of boring. But that's a whole argument in itself, because there's some people who agree with that and some people who won't, and I get it. I like the flashiness of some cosmetics, but I don't like the hounding collaborations. I don't like just the feeling of being something that you're not. And I don't know, maybe that's just me, but even voiceovers. Call of Duty Ghosts had voiceovers. We had Snoop Dogg as a voiceover, and now he's the skin. It just doesn't play and feel right, at least to me. But stepping away from that con, my biggest one also is UI. I don't like the COD HQ. I think it is horrendous. The way it works, the way you boot it up, the way you have to restart the game, the way you have to reboot up the game and then reboot all over again is kind of atrocious. I think the layout that you see where the lobby is, the people are, it's just, I don't know. I like that linear stance of the classes, score streaks, and stuff on the left side. You can see your lobby on the right, and then in the middle you can have your person standing there in their cosmetics, and you can show that stuff off. But I think it needs to be more simplified, and they're just going way too on the new wave of I don't even know what to call it because even Fortnite does it, and it's just an ugly UI. So just clean it up, simplify it, make it simple, and it's that easy. Now onto the HUD of the game. I don't mind the HUD of the game for multiplayer, but I don't like the HUD of the game for zombies. I don't think zombies needs a compass in the top. It doesn't need a mini map. And I know you can probably remove those with the new customizations, but we haven't seen that yet. They did have that update a couple days ago about fixing the HUD elements and making them more moody and fitting the zombie theme, which is great. And on to the multi side, I guess you can keep the compass. I actually couldn't tell you. I don't think it's in every single class. And I just kind of don't like it because it's too Warzone-y for me, and I personally just don't like Warzone. Next, we're going to talk about weapon classes. We're going to talk about the aftermarket. I knew this was a thing in Modern Warfare 3. I think it's absolutely horrendous. It needs to just be removed. I don't know. I don't see that as a worthy innovation for the game. I think it just makes it over convoluted and it makes the UI even worse to navigate just to put on a skin, and that leads to like the gunsmith and the blueprints and the attachments. The attachment should be simple. It should be a pick 10 system. You should only get 3-4 max attachments, and that's using up all your slots basically at that point, especially if you're running perks. The gunsmith, it depends on if it's the gunsmith of prior games where it's just like custom paint jobs on your gun and you call it a day. But it's not. It's going to be like the Cold War blueprints and the current Modern Warfare series of like completely changing your gun and the specs on it. And that's another thing is I don't need different attachments to tell me what speed I'm getting, how fast I ADS, if I can idle sway. Like, I don't need that. You just give me quick draw, give me grip, give me reflex sight, fast mag, extended mag, FMJ, and call it a day. It's that simple. And also with classes, talking BO6 specifically, just from the beta, I don't like the 3 weapon slots because you have your primary, your secondary, and then you had the knife. But I'm a person who played way back in the day. I just like running around with the knife. And I have to constantly swap to it every time I die and every time I spawn in. I just want to remove the primary and keep it as my secondary and just run around. And that's the thing. Why can't we unequip the primary anymore? And you can say that the knife is like, oh, it ups your movement speed and it makes you run faster and sprint. But also, leading into that, tac sprinting shouldn't be a thing. I think tac sprinting in general in all Call of Duties recently has just been awful. I don't ever want my gun to be behind my head. Even when I'm playing the beta, as you'll see, I barely tac sprint because your character's movement is already fast enough and it just makes it feel wonky and wobbly. Stepping away from movement and classes and stuff, we're going to talk about the maps. I think most of the maps, especially in the beta, were too small, and I don't like small maps like Shipment. I think it's a little boring, a little too brain rot for these kids who want to act like they're cracked and taking Adderall out the ass. But what can I say? I'm personally not a fan of it. Now, Nuketown is a good baseline. It's small, but it's not like compact small. Like when I spawn in at a corner, I'm already seeing someone to my left and right. But that leads into another thing, the unoriginal maps. I heard that they were taking Modern Warfare 3 maps for the end of their game cycle, and I think that just kind of hurts Modern Warfare 3 as much as I didn't like it. But that also hurts Treyarch because that shows that they clearly weren't thinking about their maps and how they feel, because based on the way they look like Modern Warfare 3, and it's awful. And that leads into one more thing, is they had 4 years of development, and it feels and looks like Cold War, Modern Warfare 19, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. I don't know how you get a 4-year cycle and it still feels like it's rushed, just like Cold War. And that makes me think, is it just the engine? Is it just the Modern Warfare engine? Because I'm pretty sure that's what everyone moved over to. I won't lie to you. I think the Black Ops 3 and even the BO4 engine was perfect. The way you moved, the way you jumped, the way you slid, I think it was just the perfect COD feeling. And to bring me to the last one, my minor con is the black market. I actually enjoyed it. I liked having the challenges, getting the rolls of guns. And I know people are going to say, oh, it was a pay to win. You just said you don't like to pay skins and stuff. But I never paid for that shit. I worked, I grinded for it. And when I unlocked it, I unlocked it. It's not like I'm going to waste physical money on a game that I'm already playing when I can get it for free. Okay, now we're on to the pros. And they are going to overlap with the cons, so just take it in stride. The HUD. Customization. I like that you can customize the HUD to make it feel the way that you want the game to feel. I think that is perfect. It's genius. And I think it'll make even zombies feel more like a zombies experience, especially when someone like me who's been playing since World at War can just remove 90% of the HUD when all I need is the perks and the ammo. I don't need anything else. And the next is the weapon skins. And I know we just went over that a little bit, but I think if Treyarch keeps to the weapon skins that they have right now, like how you saw with the pre-order bundle, I think those are sick. I think the animation is sick, but I think those should just count as skins and not like skins slash camos, and not like a whole extra gun. Like when I click on a sniper, it should just be that sniper and I can add that camo to it, not I click on that sniper and I get an option of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other snipers. Another pro I have is kill streaks. I'm kind of glad they're back. I don't like the looping kill streaks from the older games, or the score streaks, I guess they were called. I think kill streaks will make kids try harder to stay alive and try less harder to just run around and be flashy, which I think is a good counterbalance to that type of game style. We can go back to the 4 years of development. I think that is a good thing. I think all Call of Duty should have multiple years of development, and I also think Call of Duty as a whole should have multiple years of support. I'm kind of tired of the 1 year COD cycle. I think we should start moving into like 2 or 3, or even 2 or 3, and wait until the next game is fully developed to then push it out for release, because we want a polished game nowadays. We don't want a half-ass job like we have with Cold War. And even Modern Warfare 19, 2, and 3, I felt like we're all just super rushed and super underdeveloped. Nothing new, nothing changed. And it was just boring. And that's why I never even played those 3, because they all just looked copy and paste and copy and paste. And Cold War, I literally played for Season 0, and then once they started Season 1, I never touched the game, which is crazy. But I'm hoping the 4-year development cycle, Treyarch really leaned into I mean, clearly we see now they have community feedback and they're taking that in, they're listening, and they're implementing that before the game even launches, which is really nice to hear. My last pro, it's a lot shorter than the cons, I know, but the beta really didn't give us too much to work with. I love that the perks and wildcards are back. It makes me feel like pick 10 could have been an option. I wish they would have went that route. But the perks, how they're set up right now, I think are really nice. I like the wild cards are just like Black Ops 3 and 4. And even the specialists are fine. I don't think it's too drastic change from what we've seen previously. But I did kind of like more of the Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 era of specialists, where it was like the cloaking, the super speed, the grab slams. I think those are cool. But that's a completely different topic. Now I know this is all over the place. It was slightly scripted, but it also wasn't. I wrote multiple pages of an original script when Black Ops 6 beta just ended, and now this is October 16th, and that's so far, like, that's weeks ago. I just had that question in my head, is like everything that I was writing down, and just felt like I was bashing the game before we even gave the game a chance to come out. And I think it just comes down to like the expectations of what I remember COD being and what COD is now, and it's clearly different. It's not going to be the same, and I don't think it ever will be the same. And I do think that we, as the gamers, contributed to the, I wouldn't even say downfall, but the decline of Call of Duty. Because when Black Ops 4 came out, I can sort of see the hate towards it, but there really was no reason to. And at the same time, that's when Fortnite was a big thing, and I think a lot of people lean towards that. But I feel like in doing that, we set up what we now had for the past 5-6 years, and I just don't think that this new generation of COD is actually that good. It holds no memories. It's not replayable like the old CODs are. Like, I've literally been playing Black Ops 4 for like the past, ever since the BO6 beta ended, actually. I was even thinking about going back to BO3. I do play the zombies still on BO3 like quite constantly, so but I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. I know this was all over the place. Do you think that we actually ruined Call of Duty? Do you think it was the gaming industry? Do you think it was Activision? Do you think it was just a whole combination of the expectations weren't met for all parties? Yeah, just let me know. And with all that in mind, I'm ready for Black Ops 6. I'll give the game a chance. Let me know if you're going to give it a chance. I know I did, but didn't answer questions that I had. But, I mean, it's not in my hands. It's Treyarch and Activision. They have full range of what they want to do with their game. So, let's see what happens. If you have liked this video, I know it's just a bunch of rambling and a bunch of nonsense. It's just me thinking out loud and thinking about the concerns that I've had just for COD in general for the past few years. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in BO6.